Gold leafing on gourds. It's not as difficult as you might think. Okay, so when I do gold leaf, it's usually the last thing that I do on my gourd. And the reason for that is I'm normally using a heat set ink or a heat set acrylic on this part of the gourd. And when you use the heat gun over top of the finished gold leaf, it can bubble up on the edges. So I want to make sure that any heat setting I do is going to be done before I do the gold leaf. So I'm planning on putting the gold leaf just in this little circle here. And I am going to put a base coat, a red base coat on first. This is optional. This is just something that I'm going to do today. I don't do this every time, but I thought I would just show you that this is an option that you can do if you get any little cracks or chips out of your gold leaf. That red base coat will kind of fill in that extra area and make it less apparent. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint that. And now we're just going to wait for this to dry. Okay, so now this base coat is dry and I can paint on a coat of this adhesive size for the gold leaf. Now a little word on the gold leaf. I keep calling it gold leaf, but technically it is not real gold. It is an imitation gold. It is what would be called metal leaf. Okay, and I think the kind that I'm going to use today is a variegated red leaf. So it's a metal leaf. It's not actually true gold, but it has a gold appearance, and this kind has been chemically treated to give it a look that it has been aged, and it has these very pretty patterns. Some of them are more patterned than others. So, but I really like these variegated ones. I think they just have a lot of character to it, especially when some of these colors will pull out whatever colors that I put in the background on the gourd. It kind of just pulls it all together. So this is very simple because we're just painting this on, and this adhesive will dry, and when it dries it will remain tacky, and it will be just sticky enough for the metal leaf to stick to it. All right, so now the adhesive is dry and just a little bit sticky, which is exactly how I want it. And I'm going to use this kind of variegated gold leaf or metal leaf. Now, as you can see, there are patterns on here. Now here's a piece I've already taken some out of here, but I really would like to get this this circular design here in the center on this round shape here that the dragonfly is flying towards. And as you can see too, it's a little bit different colors on each side. So this has a little more vibrant reds and purples, whereas this side is a little less so. And I want to get some of that red and purple in there. So I'm just going to try to leave it right in the package, and I'm going to place my gourd right over top of it. Okay. And then this is just a little piece of tissue paper. Let's set this aside. And I'm going to burnish it down a little bit, just with this brush, just to get it smooth. You can even use your finger a little bit too, just to make sure that it's all down really well. And now comes the fun part. And I don't have a gilder's brush or anything fancy like this. This is just an old brush that I've had. It's semi-soft. It's I think it was a type of watercolor brush. You can also use, sometimes I use this kind of a stiff stencil brush, just for if pieces don't want to come off, if they're a little bit stubborn. So I think because I'm not really using real gold, I'm just using an imitation gold. They don't really need a real special kind of brush. So just any soft brush will do the job. And as you can see, everywhere where I did not paint the adhesive, it comes right off. And I'm working on a little piece of paper here because I do save all these little pieces that that I brush off, so I can use it for another project later on. And here's where I will take the stiffer brush and just kind of go around the edges a little bit, where there's just some little pieces that didn't come off. I'm still using kind of a soft touch though. I don't really want to scrub it. And I can take a little bit of this and just burnish it down a little bit, any little pieces that look like there was a little seam there, so we're just going to push that down a little bit. That looks better. And if you look really closely and you see some areas where you have some gold that you don't want the gold, you can just use a craft knife to scrape some of that off. Sometimes it gets in the little grooves and you just want to scrape that out. So that's how you can just clean up the edges a little bit. I'd love to hear from you if you've ever used gold leaf on gourds, and if you've ever used like real gold. There may be some gilders out there, people who do calligraphy and illumination, have maybe worked with real gold leaf and perhaps made your own gesso size, maybe raised gilding. I would love to hear from you. That's something that I would like to learn how to do. For now, I'm just sticking with this very simple imitation gold. It does have a beautiful effect. So here you go. And the last thing that I will do is just give it a quick spray of a sealer. Really any kind will do, just to make sure it does not oxidize further, because in time it will discolor if it's not sealed. So it's just a very simple and easy way to give your design a nice pop and a little color and just some vibrancy. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on using gold metal leaf on gourds. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you click the little thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more, you could head on over to my channel and subscribe so that you will not miss any of my new videos. You can also go to my website where you can find all kinds of things like my calendar and a gallery. You can sign up for my newsletter. I have a blog, so there's all kinds of goodies over there that you can go check out. You could also follow me on Instagram, which is Jenn Avery Gourd Art. And lastly, a little bit of news. I did recently launch an online gourd course on burning a rabbit on a gourd. It is for this project right here. If that is something that interests you, there'll also be a link down below for that. All right, so thanks for joining me today, and I hope you all have a gourd day.